what are the documents that you will need to get pre-approved for a mortgage? I'm going to give you guys all that info in this video. If you do not know me, my name is Ashley Lemos. I'm a mortgage professional, and I'm here to give you guys all the tips and tricks regarding mortgage. So what is the first document that you will need? The first document will be your pay stubs. This is going to help us calculate your income, you guys. So if you guys especially are an hourly wage employee, this is a tip for you, okay? We're going to have to see your year-to-date income. And especially if you guys are taking time off and you're not getting paid for that, I definitely would reconsider that. Especially if you're trying to buy a house, we need to see all of that income that you've made year to date, right? So just a heads up, please do not take any time off if you're trying to buy a house pretty soon. Or if you are gonna take time off, at least take paid time off, okay? Because that's gonna potentially hinder your pre-approval amount if you guys are taking a lot of time off, especially if you're an hourly waged employee, okay? So the next tip, especially just to give you guys a heads up, is that we are also gonna need to see your year-end pay stub for the past 2 years if you work overtime as well, because that is also something that we have to average out over a 2-year period. Or we can order what's called a verification of employment if you guys do not have that. But just to give you guys a heads up, that is another sort of document that you will need that ties along with your pay stubs, okay? So as far as getting those pay stubs over to us, I know that this day and age, everything is very digital, everything's on email, right? So that is actually what we were going to end up using is email to get these documents over to us. So if you guys don't have a traditional pay stub that you guys probably get direct deposit. That is totally okay. We just need you guys to either download that, obviously through ADP or Paycheck City. There should be an easy way for you guys to download your most recent 30 days of pay stubs. And if you guys need any assistance, I'm sure that I will be able to help you guys out if need be, okay? Second thing that we need from you guys are your 2 months of most recent bank statements. So we have to see that you obviously have money in order for you to close on that home, right? So the thing to keep in mind is that we need to see at least 2 months of seasoning in that bank account to use for funds. And that could be a checking or a savings account. So if you have your money put away in cash, please deposit all of that money into either the checking or savings or both in order for us to use those funds. And it does have to be sitting in there for 2 months. Also, you guys, if you don't have your money put away in a bank account, that is totally fine. We have other options that you can use your down payment and closing costs from, which can be your money market account, a 401k, stocks or bonds, right? Those are other options that we can see from you in order to just verify funds. Also, another thing, you guys, before you send over the bank statements to us, you wanna make sure you're not altering any documentation, okay? Don't be embarrassed if there's something on there that you don't want us to see. Trust me, we do not care. I promise you, we do not care what's on there. The only thing that we're looking for are any large deposits that have not been seasoned for 2 months or unverified deposits. So if it's just cash and we cannot source that and it hasn't been 2 months of seasoning, then yeah, we are gonna ask you for that, and that is gonna be a red flag to the underwriter who approves you for the loan. So make sure you guys are aware of that, okay? Before applying for a mortgage, you wanna make sure any money that's not verifiable, that has to be seasoned in there for 2 months, okay? So just keep that in mind. Also, don't deposit anything when you're getting pre-approved or after you get pre-approved and going home shopping. Don't deposit 50% or more of your monthly income, because otherwise we are gonna have to ask about that. And if you cannot source it, again, that is gonna be a red flag to the lender, okay? So we do have to see, again, a PDF format. We have to see all pages of your bank statements, no alterations. And the one way you can get that is through your bank. You log in online. You should be able to download your bank statements for the past 2 months pretty easily. But if you guys have any questions about that, I normally send my clients a video link just so that they can see a tutorial of how to do it. And yeah, no harm in that. It's just things aren't that simple on the internet these days, you guys. So anyway, the next thing that we will need from you is a copy of your photo ID, so like a driver's license or a government issued ID. We obviously want to see this is you on the application, right? So that is something that you guys want to get over to us. Obviously, it could be a PDF format as well, or a picture, and I can generate that into a PDF format, so no problem at all. And then the next thing we're gonna want to see, you guys, is your 2 years of your most recent W-2s. This is gonna help us see your income year over year, and it's also gonna help us see your work history for the past 2 years as well. That is a requirement that you need to have if you have not been in school for the past 2 years, right? We have to see 2 years of your work history. We wanna see if your income is decreasing or increasing for the past 2 years, and obviously ask you guys some questions. If the most recent year is decreasing, we want to ask you about that, and we can always go and get a letter of explanation if that needs to be the case, but that is just what we need to see from you. So if you guys don't have access to that, I would just try and maybe ask your tax preparer who filed your taxes. They should have that on file for you, or I would go to the IRS website and log in online and try and get your transcripts that way. That's one way you can do it. Another thing that I have done myself personally is that I actually asked my HR person when I worked for a certain employer that they actually issued me a W-2 when I asked for it. So that is something that you can also get as well, okay? So the next thing that we will need is access to your credit report. That is something that you do not give to me, but that is something that it is a requirement to get you guys pre-approved for a loan, right? So we will need to get permission from you in order for us to run your credit. Now we're gonna need to see at least 3 of your credit bureaus. So with the credit bureaus, obviously you have Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, okay? So out of those 3 bureaus, there's normally a middle score that you guys have that we're gonna use to qualify you to get you into a certain program, for the interest rate you'll get, right? All of those factors play into that. So we need to run your credit to obviously look at your middle score and determine qualifications, right? So with that, we will just issue you guys something for you to sign, and that way we can go ahead and get that from you. Also, just miscellaneous things, you guys, to keep in mind. If you guys have any additional income that you guys get and it's not on a pay stub, right, we will need to see some sort of documentation for that. Sometimes it's normally on your tax returns, so if you have been receiving that, then that will normally be something that I can see on your tax returns that you can send over to me, or there's other documentation, like other sources of income that you get. You can just go ahead and provide that to me. That way we can get you guys pre-approved for a bigger purchase price. Or if you guys owe money as well, if you owe child support, if you owe the IRS, that is something that we would like to see for documentation purposes, because that is going to come up eventually when we get you guys approved. So if you hide anything from us, we're gonna have to find out later on. So just be upfront with us. So if you guys are owing money as well as gaining any extra money, please just let us know. That is very helpful for us. So I want you guys to keep this in mind too. Please just be really honest with your lender on your application, and even after the application, you know, of course we'll go through it. I'll ask you guys some questions about it, but please be honest. We're only trying to help you guys get into the house. We're not here to say, oops, sorry, can't qualify and move on, right? We're trying to help you guys as best as we can, so please be honest with us. That way we can find some loopholes or any other things that we can do to get you guys approved, okay? So the best piece of advice I will let you guys know is be honest with your financial situation, and don't be afraid to tell your lender something, because the good ones really care about getting you into that house that you've been always wanting, okay? And another tip is that I would try to store all of these files into a folder on your computer. That way you have it all ready to go when you're ready to get pre-approved. All you need to do is just go in that folder, send me that through email, and that is all you need to do, right? So that is the easiest thing, just to prepare ahead of time. Yeah, I will go ahead and leave my Calendly link in the description below, as well as the states that I'm licensed in. That way you can see if it makes sense to reach out. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, just let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content if you thought it was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video.